Hi everyone, and welcome to another thought for the day. I'm in my car, just outside church here, and it's something I don't get to do very often anymore. I'm not down a whole lot. I'll talk to you a bit more about that later. Today I want us to think about, have you ever been in a situation where you're doing something that you've maybe always done and then you've just noticed something new? Because that has happened for me this last couple of weeks. I'm going to give you a bit of an insight into my working week now. It used to be full of youth and children's organisations, down in church all the time, in the hustle and bustle. But now I'm only here maybe 2 or 3 times a week most, just for a short visit to film some of the Thought for the Day videos with our minister Roy. And what tends to happen is I'll set up the camera, Roy will sit down to do his bit, I'll hit the record button and I'll get out of the way and let him get on with it. And so normally what I do is I start recording and I head around the corner out of the way. And as I was standing, it was while we were recording one of the Sunday services, I was standing around near where the toilets are. And I suddenly became aware of something that I have never noticed in the 6 years that I've been here. And yet it was something that has definitely been there the 6 years that I've been here. There are 2 clocks in the welcome area. There's one just above the lift beside the coffee bar, and there's another one round near the toilets. Now I might have noticed the clock before, I might have glanced up at it, but what I noticed for the first time ever was the ticking of the clock. You see, I don't think I've ever been in those holes when it's been so quiet. There's always something going on, and yet here in the midst of this all, I noticed something I'd never noticed before, the ticking of the clock. So what's that got to do with God and the Bible and where we are now? Well, in the Bible, in Psalm 46, verse 10, there's a very famous verse and it says, "Be still and know that I am God." And for me, it was only in that moment of stillness that I noticed that ticking clock. And sometimes it's only in the stillness that we notice something about God. And a lot of times this verse is maybe taken a little bit out of context and people use it to mean, take a bit of time out for yourself and relax. And the Bible does tell us that we need to remain and be with God and take that time. But actually in the context of this psalm, it's happening in the middle of a war. And the psalmist wants the people not so much to sort of chill and take out a bit of time. It's more of a command of stop. Stop in the middle of the chaos and the madness of war and remember who God is. I'd like to read the whole psalm for us this morning to remind us who God is as we are in the middle of this uncertain time, to maybe take this time to think about what we haven't noticed about God before and what we can learn about him. Because you see, not all of us have the luxury of being able to sit for 10 minutes in the quietness in their car. Either you're at home with your kids who are maybe doing your head in as you're realising just how much of a saint their teachers are. Or maybe you're still out on the front line, and we are so grateful for that. So this is not so much me saying use this lovely restful time that you have to focus on God. It's saying even in the midst of the chaos that's going on in our lives today, it's important that we stop and think about what God is, who he is, what he means to us. Let's read Psalm 46 together. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth gives way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, the mountains tremble at its swelling. There's a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God will help her when morning dawns. The nations rage, the kingdoms totter. He utters his voice. The earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. Come, behold the works of the Lord, how he has brought desolation on the earth. He makes war cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He turns the chariots with fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. And so today, in whatever is going on in your life, whether things are a little bit more quiet than usual and you can take that time, or whether you're in the middle of something absolutely chaotic, take time, listen to God, and know who He is.